Welcome to e-sulking. Hi, today we're going to take a look at be verb past. We're going to look at the be verb positive form first, then the negative form, the question form, and finally some common mistakes. Here's the form. We say I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, and they were. Here are some example sentences. I was really tired yesterday. Adam was kind to his friend. Liz and Sarah were tired after work. We were amazed with the meal. Put the correct form of the be verb past below. She blank sick yesterday. She was sick yesterday. They blank unhappy with a meal. They were unhappy with the meal. Ken blank late for class yesterday. Ken was late for class yesterday. We blank interested in the film. We were interested in the film. Here's the negative form. We say, I wasn't, you weren't, he wasn't, she wasn't, it wasn't, we weren't, and they weren't. Here are some example sentences. She wasn't excited last night. I wasn't very busy yesterday. Bill and Tom weren't bored. They weren't nice to me last week. Put the correct negative form of the be verb past into the spaces below. Al blank angry yesterday. Al wasn't angry yesterday. They blank beautiful flowers. They weren't beautiful flowers. She blank very tall. She wasn't very tall. The city blank expensive to visit. The city wasn't expensive to visit. Let's take a look at the question form now. For questions, we start with was I? Were you? Was he? Was she? Was it? Were we? And were they? So note, for I, he, she, and it, again we say was. And for you, we, they, we use were. It's important to remember the form. Put the words in order to make questions. Let's go. Cheap was meal the. Was the meal cheap? Next one. Okay, let's go. Where were you last week? Notice the pronunciation, a bit difficult. Where were you last week? Where were. Next one. Here we go. Who were you with yesterday? Next one. What time was he ready? We're going to take a look at some common mistakes now. So correct the mistakes in these sentences. I were very sick last week. I was very sick last week. Was they late for class this morning? Were they late for class this morning? He weren't ready when we called him. He wasn't ready when we called him. Tom and Ed wasn't late for work. Tom and Ed weren't late for work because Tom and Ed means they. So we say they weren't. Here's a review. Again, for the positives, we say I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, and they were. And for the negative, we say I wasn't, you weren't, he wasn't, she wasn't, it wasn't, we weren't, and they weren't. To make a question, we just change it around. Change the positive around. So we got was I, were you, was he, was she, was it, were we, and were they. If you'd like to find out more, take a look at these books available on Amazon. You can also find these reading and writing books for the appropriate level on Amazon too. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you could kindly give us a like and subscribe, that will help me put out more content. Thanks so much. Bye bye for now.